Imagine a world of white. 20,000 years ago, Earth wasn't a home. It was a battlefield. A relentless war between flesh and frost. Every single breath was borrowed. Every heartbeat, a desperate gamble against total extinction. Where nature's breathtaking beauty and its chilling brutality shared the same breath. It was an era when the mightiest beasts to ever walk the planet roamed a frozen world, still learning how to fight back against the overwhelming dark. The year is roughly 20,000 BC, the peak of the last glacial maximum. Picture this: ice sheets 2 miles thick, crushing entire continents under their unimaginable weight. Across what we now call Europe, Asia, and North America, temperatures plummeted so drastically that the very air could freeze a person's lungs if they lingered too long in the open. It was a world sculpted by ice. Human footprints. Small, nomadic bands of Homo sapiens, our direct ancestors, carved out a fragile existence at the very edge of survival. They weren't just people. They were hunters, firemakers, and storytellers, bound together not by comfort but by shared desperation and the will to see another sunrise. Their world was the mammoth steppe, a vast, frozen sea of grass and ice. The wind sang a constant, mournful song of death, and the ground itself would shake and tremble beneath the feet of giants. In their small camps, fires flickered like defiant stars against the endless night. Here, hunters sharpened spears tipped with flint and bone. And what challenges they were! A living mountain, standing 12 feet tall at the shoulder. Their curved tusks, as long as a man's body, swept through the air, and their hearts beat with a prehistoric thunder that vibrated through the frozen ground. They were the undisputed kings of the Ice Age plains. But they weren't just mindless beasts. They were intelligent, family-driven creatures. We see calves nuzzling their mothers for warmth, and powerful bulls trumpeting their authority into the wind. They were loyal, and much like us, they mourned their dead. For the small bands of early humans watching from a distance, mere silhouettes against the snow, the mammoth meant everything. It was a walking treasure trove. A single kill could mean food for months, thick hides for warmth against the killing cold, massive bones to build shelters, and invaluable ivory tusks for crafting tools and art. To hunt a mammoth was to secure the future of your clan. It was the ultimate triumph, but it was also a profound tragedy. The hunt was a sacred, terrifying ritual. Their faces are streaked with ash, not for camouflage, but for ceremony. Primitive chants echo through the frozen trees, a plea to the spirits of the animals, to the gods of wind and fire. They didn't hunt with arrogance, they hunted with faith. Every spear they would cast was a prayer. Every life taken, a sacrifice. They were masters of patience. They watched for hours, sometimes days, waiting for the perfect moment, for any sign of weakness. An old matriarch slowing down, a lone bull straying too far from the protection of the herd. One mistake on their part and the hunters would be crushed beneath hooves that could shatter stone. Then the moment arrives. The hunters charge from their hiding places. A sudden explosion of movement and sound. Spears fly through the frigid air. The herd panics. A young bull, separated from the others, trumpets in fear and rage. The pristine snow is thrown into chaos. The air fills with the screams of both man and beast, their hot breath turning to steam in the cold. Blood, dark and steaming, stains the white landscape. The world turns red. One hunter is caught by a swinging tusk and thrown through the air like a doll. Another, braving the chaos, drives his spear deep into the giant's side. The colossal creature stumbles, its roars of pain shaking the very sky. It collapses slowly, agonizingly, and the ground trembles one last time. A silence older than language, broken only by the whistling wind and the heavy breathing of the exhausted hunters. They had stared into the face of nature's fury and had won. They had conquered a giant, only to feed their own fragile existence. Back at the camp, firelight reflects off the mammoth's immense tusks as the clan works together. The hunters skin the carcass, while women and children gather around, singing low, mourning songs. The mammoth gave them everything they needed to survive: meat for their bellies, hides for their backs, bones for their homes. But it also took something: sprinkles fresh snow over the mammoth's lifeless body in a final rite. To kill such a magnificent creature was a heavy burden, a transgression against the spirit of life itself. So they prayed. They offered thanks to the animal they had destroyed. Life in the Ice Age was relentlessly harsh, but it was not hopeless. In the relative safety of the camp, daily life unfolded. Women ground roots and herbs, men carved intricate tools from bone, and children played near the life-giving fire. Every fire was a fortress against the endless cold. Every story told around it was a spark of something greater than mere survival, telling stories of brave hunters, giant mammoths, and the powerful gods of the snow. Through these stories, they remembered their history. Through memory, they learned from their mistakes and triumphs. And through learning, they began to dream of a future. Needles made of bone for sewing warm clothes, razor-sharp flint knives, and beautiful ornaments carved from ivory. For them, art, faith, and survival were all one and the same. They painted on cave walls not just what they saw, but what they felt, what they feared, and what they revered. They were recording their world so that it might not forget them, even if they vanished into the ice. But nothing, not even the Ice Age, lasts forever. The planet's great cycles continued to turn. The Earth shifted on its axis, and slowly, agonizingly, the ice began to retreat. Glaciers melted, their water dripping like tears, carving new rivers through the land. Forests crept back across the tundra, changing the landscape forever. As the world warmed, the delicate balance broke. The vast, open plains they depended on were replaced by dense forests. Their herds grew smaller, their mighty calls fading into the wind. Weaker and fewer in number, they wandered closer to the growing human settlements. Was it the changing climate that sealed their fate? Or was it us? Our hunting became more efficient, our numbers grew. A lone hunter watches as one of the last mammoths takes its final, shuddering breath. The age of giants was coming to an end. 10,000 years later, the mammoths are gone. But their bones, perfectly preserved in the frozen earth, still whisper the story of our beginnings. Archaeologists unearth their skeletons, and digital artists bring their world back to life, helping us understand that their extinction was a crucial part of our evolution. Long before we built kingdoms or launched ourselves to the stars, we survived the cold, the dark, and the impossible, huddled around a fire, sharing the meat of a giant. Every spark of innovation, every tool we've crafted, every single heartbeat we have today was bought with the blood and sacrifice of our ancestors and the giants who walked the earth before us. The Ice Age ended, but its hunters, their resilience, their ingenuity, and their spirit still live within every one of us. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey back in time. If you found this story as fascinating as we do, please hit that like button, and subscribe for more adventures into our incredible past. We'll see you in the next one.